You see, they put Jari on IR. See, they put Jari on IR.
You son of a bitch, Mike. You son of a bitch.
No, Mike.
You're not live yet, right? You're not live.
Bro.
Fuck you, dude. I love you.
Oh my god.
Did you really? Really? I love you. Really?
Oh wow.
Oh. Pineapples beat me. That's what he did. He beat. Unbelievable. I mean, at least blow me out. Charlie. You beat me fair and square. You're 7-2.
Yeah.
I'm 3-6.
I'm 7-2.
Yeah, you're not doing pretty. You're not doing.
But Mike, give me a check. I don't even know if that works, but we'll figure it out. All right, what's up, everybody, and welcome to Sports Dummies, where we're going to talk all about the sport and what we think is going to happen for this week. So, um, let's get into a lot of what's going on already
Today.
today, big time today. Okay, I got audio on both of us on YouTube, so I know it's working. We're good.
Awesome.
So good. We're in good shape. Um, so I gotta try to figure that out. So, do you want to start out and let everybody know what is happening thus far?
Yeah, I think we jump right into today's big day. It was Christmas for some teams and other teams. I mean, to me, some teams made themselves contenders. Some teams made moves that I don't think they should have made. Some teams are definitely looking towards the future. Some teams sat on their hands, and others just kind of
So,
I don't know what they were thinking.
okay, so let's talk. Let's go through uh, mainly some of these big ones because these other ones here, I don't think really you're going to make too much of a difference. They're mainly like either depth guys or um, money laundering ways in order to
Right. Cut cap.
yeah
Yeah.
cut cap costs. So let's
Yeah.
talk about one of the bigger ones that we kind of figure was on the trading block, and that's Jalen Phillips going from Miami to Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is giving a third round pick. So they get Jalen Phillips, linebacker, out of Miami, which we kind of figured that Miami was going to move somebody. We just didn't know who. Um, Jalen Phillips was one of the guys that they were talking about. So he ends up getting moved to Philadelphia to bolster up their defense and their linebacker core. Again, kind of expected that. Not a big surprise, but still
Right.
still a
Bigger
good get.
price than I thought, though. Bigger price than I thought, though.
Here's
So
this. Here's this. Here's this. Well, not yet. Yet. Not yet. Yet. We're gonna get to the next one that baffles the hell out of me. Okay. The next one, Cincinnati Bengals, and not the guy you think was going to go, but the guy that just started talking, and that's Logan Wilson. He had just started talking about how he wanted to leave Cincinnati because he wasn't being featured in the defense as much as he was previously because they drafted two rookies, right, and
right,
basically replaced him with two guys. Okay, so he said, I want out. So he gets traded to Dallas, which again, Dallas, you need a guy, you know,
right,
especially after last night. The defense is just very, very full of holes, and they just can't do
right.
anything. They just can't do anything. It seems like so. Good trade. Here's the shock. Why no Trey? You're going to lose him at the end of the year unless you blow him away with some type of deal that he ends up wanting to stick around. Why not Trey? Because I guarantee you could have got probably a first, if not a first, then an early second for Trey.
Right. Well, especially after we saw what was being thrown around today. Insanity. Okay, so a team like I think that's a great trade for Dallas.
Right.
On a seventh round pick for a starting linebacker who wears a dot. I
Yeah.
mean, you got to love that for Dallas.
Yeah.
So
And it's
here
not
you
even
are.
Dallas's pick. It's actually the Giants' pick.
Right.
They
Exactly.
traded away.
Right. Right. So now you want to talk about Cincinnati, who, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about a lot of teams were buyers, especially for the edge position. And you definitely now put yourself in a corner.
Yeah.
Because now either you have to pay the man who's not happy being there, obviously, and you got a seventh rounder for this guy who's a starter for you. So you didn't win. It's a lose-lose for you so far.
Right.
Until you came out of there smelling just as bad as you did when you went into the trade deadline. Makes no sense whatsoever.
Agreed.
Unless they think that the Flacco's going to put them in playoff contention soon, but guy throws for over 450 yards and you still lose. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, yeah, let's go ahead and trade a part of our defense, which we can't seem to buy stops on.
Right.
The last 2 weeks, they lose the game in the final seconds in the last
Right.
2 weeks
Right.
because teams are marching up and down the field and putting points on them at the last second. So yeah,
Right.
let's get rid of a maybe an integral part of that defense. At least a long-standing part of that defense stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
So
go ahead. You
so
were talking about the big one.
nice trades there. Dallas makes a nice trade there,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have a head scratcher on the next one they made. I don't understand it.
Okay.
Quentin Williams, they give up a first rounder. They trade Maisie Smith, a first rounder, and another pick, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
So, yeah, Maisie Smith, second rounder and a first rounder. Second rounder in the 26th draft.
Wow.
First rounder, which is a conditional pick in 27.
So, what are you doing, Dallas? Listen, I don't know what you think about this trade. Here's my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
You are a fringe team for a playoff spot. You're giving away picks that could be primo picks. You know what I mean? So think about this. In the last 2 years, you give away your first rounder, your second rounder, and your third rounder. And does that roster look like a top team in the NFC? On one side of the ball, it could. Defensively, it's still bad.
I mean,
and let's talk about Williams. His contract is huge. He's 28 years old, as a defensive lineman.
Yeah.
You have Maisie Smith, who's a young defensive lineman. I mean, I don't know. I just don't like it for Dallas at all. I don't know what they're doing here.
Yeah, that one was a head scratcher, like you said. Especially considering the fact that what are we now? 2-5-1, 3-5.
They're 3-5-1. Yeah. And looking, and I don't know what your opinion. In the last 2 weeks, they've looked horrible. Like their offense is taking a shit.
And look who they lost to just last night. They got blown out.
Right.
I
don't understand what's going on there.
2 weeks ago, they get blown out by Denver, 44-22.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me that this nose tackle is going to help you now to potentially make the wild card.
Right. So in the two players they got, they didn't get a pass rusher.
Right.
Okay. You got two good run stoppers. Wilson's good against a pass for our linebacker, and you get a first, a second, a seventh. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't add up for me if I'm a Cowboy fan. And not to mention, I thought one of their biggest holes could have been offensive linemen. They didn't address that whatsoever.
Right.
So, you know, and kudos to the Jets today. Let's just piggyback on them.
Okay, you want to go straight to the Jets?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So the Jets, in what is probably going to be the next biggest trade. I mean, the second biggest trade, obviously, out of this year, considering the first one was Micah out of Dallas, and now we're getting Sauce Gardner from the Jets going to Indianapolis, and the Colts. The Colts seem like they're for real. They want to be contenders. They want to get out there. They got a team that they want to win now with. Right. This is what I'm seeing. Right. And they were
organization. Just a very steep price, but you're getting an all-pro cornerback.
Right. So you're essentially getting a first rounder, essentially.
Okay? Right.
But you gave up 3 people for that. Okay. And what I mean by 3 people is that you're giving away A.D. Mitchell, who is a now player, and 2 future players. One
first round picks. Yeah.
2 first round picks, one in 26, one in 27. This sounds to me that they don't plan on picking any higher than 28.
Yep, right. They're going for it. They're all in.
Right.
That
would be my guess. They don't plan on picking any higher than 28, 27. Right.
Yeah.
Which those are late first rounders are essentially, early second
rounders.
They're you're not gonna, you might not hit total home runs on.
Right.
But it's still gonna help the team.
What's your thought on this trade?
First, my thought
I love it
is, well, let's take it from the standpoint of a business standpoint. This is a great trade. This is a great trade for Indy, because Indy is only on the hook for $26 million for 5 years. Has that been?
That's insane. Yet?
Has that?
No, that's insane.
5 years, $26.1 million. This guy is owed just from Indianapolis. That's how much of this contract that they took on.
That's a bargain and a half.
He still owed like $130 million from the Jets.
Right.
This is probably one of the biggest blunders since Bobby Bonilla and Bobby Bonilla Day, where he gets $2.1 million until whenever. I think his time's almost up. I think if I remember correctly. But anyway,
18 more years. I think. Yeah.
Anyway, that's different sport. That's baseball talk, everybody. But this guy's going to get paid to play for another team, which kind of signifies to me that maybe that him and Aaron Glenn didn't get along. Yeah,
think about that. Glenn, that was his position, a cornerback. So
you're talking.
So that's very interesting.
Right, you're talking about a defensive-minded coach who prides himself on defense, sends his best defensive player away after they just get done paying him 3 months ago.
Right.
That's not talked about yet either.
Right. I mean, the whole situation with Aaron Glenn, sending away both Williams and Sauce Gardner. So you gave up your 2 best defensive players, but in return, you just got 3 first-round picks. Listen, you got a good receiver in A.D. Mitchell.
Hey, look. I think they're also looking at it from this standpoint, right? We need a franchise quarterback.
Right.
So I think that's another part of why they're dumping these big salaries, even though they just got done paying them.
You're looking at a team right now. They have 5 number one picks in the next 3 drafts. That's insane.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what they're doing. Is they're basically reloading now so they can make plays for the next couple of years. And if you're going to let Aaron Glenn be the head coach and you're going to give him, let's say they give him Dan Campbell leeway, right? Because Dan Campbell wasn't great in his first season. Dan Campbell wasn't great
Right.
in his second season. Dan Campbell
Right.
started getting great in his third and now his fourth season, right? His third season, he almost takes him to the Super Bowl, and we're still working on the fourth. But his first two
Right.
seasons, he was like 0 for. The second season, he was like 6 for 10 or something like that.
Right.
So
Right.
he's
Gradually worked his
yeah,
way up.
he's building, and a lot of owners don't do that nowadays. It's either win or you're gone, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But here, keep this in mind too. We just talked about this not that long ago. Whenever a couple of head coaches got fired with their rookie quarterbacks, having a rookie quarterback might be also be a death sentence for you.
Oh, you got that right. Absolutely.
Right? 16 out of the last 18 or something like that. Is that what it was?
Yes. Yes. The numbers are astonishing. Yes.
Right. 16 out of the last 18 coaches that had rookie quarterbacks ended up getting fired after the first season.
The other contract, yeah, insane. Insane.
So taking a huge swing on that one. We're not exactly sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing for Aaron Glenn, but they
definitely have some massive stuff that they acquired.
It sounds like Woody Johnson is behind him 110%.
It does. It does.
Because this doesn't
absolutely
happen. This stuff doesn't happen without owner approval.
Right. Right.
You know, they don't just say, "Hey, I'm the GM and I'm going to do what sees fit," and the owner is going to be like, "Oh, okay, that's fine." It's like, excuse me, no.
Right.
I pay you. This is still my team.
Right. I was waiting for one more shoe to fall from that team. It just didn't get done.
Garrett Wilson.
Evidently, they were in deep talks with Kansas City for Breece Hall, and it didn't happen.
I thought you were talking about Garrett Wilson. I think Garrett Wilson's another one that's out the door soon.
Well, I'm shocked that I'm sure he was shocked if these two guys were shocked. I'm sure Garrett Wilson was shocked.
Mm-hmm.
I think his injury had a lot to do with it, and I'm curious to see what they're asking price had to be at least a first round pick and more for Garrett Wilson. You know, which was understandable. I heard that on two shows that they were asking for a third round plus for Breece Hall, which to me, if someone would have gave that, I think that would have been a nice pickup for that. The team they're talking about is Kansas City. Would have made sense. But listen, the Jets made that look great today.
Yeah, I just don't get that. No. I mean, I understand that Pacheco's hurt right now, but you guys got two great running backs in Pacheco.
Yeah, they do.
I don't see why you go and do that. I mean, if you think that's the case and you need a third guy, go look at what San Francisco did with Brian Robinson Jr. Go look at what Philadelphia did with Tank Bigsby.
Yep. Yeah.
Guys aren't being used. They're going
right.
They're going to shit. Yeah, they're going to shit.
Right.
You know, sitting on a paycheck doing nothing.
Yeah, why give up such a high pick for guys who split carries three ways? It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't see what they're doing in Detroit and take that as your formula for a backfield, I don't know what to tell you.
Right. Right.
You know, you got what they call Sonic and Knuckles. You got a speed guy in Jahmyr Gibbs who's just lighting the world on fire, and then you got your pound and ground guy and Montgomery who also, guess what, rips off 30, 40, 50-yard gains too.
Yeah.
You know,
no joke. Yeah,
no joke. Those dudes eat every week.
Yes,
yes,
they do.
It seems like those dudes are eating. So what they're doing, that's a
recipe for success.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some other notable trades that we're going to talk about that again aren't as big as this Indianapolis New York Jets trade, but still raises your eyebrows, and that's Jacoby Myers from Vegas to the Jaguars. The Jaguars send a conditional fourth rounder and a sixth rounder that they originally got from New York, and Vegas sends Jacoby. Not surprised because they were talking about Jacoby getting moved. Just surprised on where he went. And the reason why I say that is because we have been talking almost this entire year about where has Brian Thompson been.
He's
not Thompson.
Listen,
not Thompson.
Thomas
Brian Thomas. Yeah, we've been talking about.
He's hurt every week. I understand the Travis Hunter injury had a lot to do with this, and De'Ami Brown's hurt too.
Mhm.
But your stud guy hasn't shown up all year. You
Right.
know, and Jacoby Myers to me, he's like a 1B, a 1B 2A guy. He's not number one. So hopefully this helps him out. Um, Listen, I think it's a good deal for both for what they wanted. The Raiders get some assets for a guy who didn't want to play there anymore, and Jacksonville gets a number two. But in their offense right now, they still don't have a number one, as far as I'm concerned. B2 had a great year last year, but this year he's been not even half the guy he was. So
So it's
a
also
smart trade, but
yeah,
they get a fourth and a sixth. So
but it's also ironic in the fact that you deal Jacoby away right after Brock Byers has 3 touchdown day.
Brock Myers is back. Yeah,
But here's the
yeah.
thing, though: who's going to take the heat off?
Again, you got Trey Tucker, and that's it out there. I mean, you have the rookie. You have the rookie from TCU. They're probably going to move him to the starting lineup, Jack Beck. But again, you're right there. Who's going to take the heat off of him?
Right.
You're right.
Let's see, and then the other one here, I think, is probably the biggest one that we're gonna talk about. Is Rashid Rashid. Is it Rashid?
Shaheed, yeah, Rashid Shaheed,
Okay, Rashid
yeah,
Shaheed. So he goes from New Orleans to Seattle, and Seattle sends two 26 picks, round 4, round 5. Um, so a 4 and a 5 for Shaheed. I got to be honest, this isn't the guy I thought was going to be on the move.
right. I thought
Every,
Olave was the guy.
right,
Right.
right. Everybody else is also talking about that Olave is probably going to be on the block and he's out of there.
Yeah.
But then again,
Especially because extension done with him.
right.
You know.
But then again, you've talked about this before. Um, Maybe this is the reason why he hasn't been moved. He's an injury prone guy, is he not?
Big time. Big time. Yeah. Not to
So,
mention the Saints were asking for number one.
mm,
You're going to go with number one for injury prone guy? Not so much.
right,
You know.
right. No, I get it.
You hit it right on the nose, man. Injuries with him, especially for what you want for him. Teams are going to balk at that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because God knows how many teams want wide receivers.
Well,
You know.
this is true. This is true. Let's also talk about real quick on how big this um, Indianapolis trade is. One more time. Um, think about the money in this aspect, right? He goes from having all these taxes in New York to not that much over here in Indiana, right? So it's almost
And they
like
have yeah, that's a big. I never even thought about that end of it. And also, you have a one beat Tavares Ward on the other side now,
right,
so Indy can lock down some wideouts over there. You
right.
know,
Again, it also baffles you too. I mean, I understand that they got a lot for Sauce. I get that, but then they go and make a trade with the Chargers for uh, Jasir Taylor, who's a defensive back out of Wake Forest, and they give up a 7th conditional in the 28 draft. So a 2028 draft pick, 7th rounder, and it's a conditional pick. So I understand that you got a DB back. I get that, and you only had to spend a
right?
7th rounder on it for and 2 years away from now. Um, and you got 2 first-round picks on top of it. So it's like, I mean, I get you're stocking up and all this stuff, and hopefully you hit home runs on the next 2 guys that you draft because they're first
Right.
rounders. Uh, but you also let probably a perennial All Pro out the door when you're, let's just say, building your next team. I just
Right.
that part doesn't. I don't understand it. But then again, that's the business aspect of this that I don't get.
Right.
So
Well, yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one completely. I'll tell you a little under the radar move the Jets made last week. We didn't talk about. They got John Michie from the Eagles in a trade.
mm-hmm.
Um, so you got John Michie. You have Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, that guy's been traded twice this year.
No, I know. And you have A.D. Mitchell. So you're making of a nice young receiving core with whoever you end up drafting next year as a quarterback. You know, so I think Glenn's kind of following what um, the Lions did. Let's stockpile on some talent at the wide receiver position, and then find our quarterback and go from there. You know.
Right. Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's some things here that made perfect sense, and then there's things that won't make sense until the chips all fall and
Right.
everything is all
Well,
said and done.
I think you know that the Bengals are a head scratcher to me.
Right.
A team that should have had made a move, they didn't. I thought the Dolphins should have done more. They didn't. You know. Again, I didn't think they'd move Waddle. You know, but again, I don't know. I don't think they're top. They want at least a first round pick for him. Teams are kind of balking at that, I'm sure. But he's again an injury prone guy. But when he's healthy, he's tough.
Right.
And then the Steelers. I guess they were happy getting Kyle Duggar last week and signing MVS to the practice squad today. I'm so shocked that they didn't make a wide receiver move.
I'm pretty sure. I think MVS, they elevated him to the active roster.
Oh, they did? Because I know he signed to the practice squad. But okay,
I think
that makes sense.
I'll have to double check that, but I'm almost positive they did. But yeah, I just obviously there's some big, huge head scratchers there that we just don't understand it right now.
Yeah. Well, you think about it. They didn't want to get. I thought they made a heck of a trade getting Duggar. Not much draft capital, 6th round pick for him, and they got a 7th rounder back. So things just had to be right for this team. But to me, look at the teams in the AFC. I was shocked Denver didn't make a move.
Yeah.
They're still really good. The Chargers made a mini move, picked up an offensive lineman from the Saints. Kind of a guy that can help them out with it, but they lost both Slater and Alton out for the year. That's going to be hard to recover from. Kind of shocked that Buffalo didn't go after a wide receiver also. But they still put up points regardless. But you gotta respect what Indy did getting Sauce.
Right.
You gotta respect what the Jets did. just tearing it up and blowing it up. Head scratching what Dallas did for sure. And New Orleans picking up a couple draft picks here and there, so that made sense for them. So,
I'm kind of reading here a little bit, and from what it sounds like, the Steelers were in on the Jalen Waddle talks, but it was too rich for our blood.
yeah, I heard on the way home that they were in on him and Olave, but again, both teams want at least a 1st round pick.
Well,
so
for Waddle, they're making it sound like it was the first pick and then some.
Yes, exactly. Yes, it was much more than
Right. So,
yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't just a 1st rounder; it was a 1st rounder and then some. I think that was probably the breaking point, more than likely. You could probably argue that he could be worth a second or a 1st rounder, but
I don't.
The then some is probably the point where like, well, come on now, we're not going to get greedy here for a guy that's kind of injury prone and typically only likes to play in the warm weather.
Right.
And we're trying to send him up here in the north. So
right, good call. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see anything in here about MVS. I'll have to find it and send it into the group whenever I do find it. But I thought I read that he was being elevated, which wouldn't surprise me.
Listen, sooner than later, he'll be elevated before Sunday, I'm sure.
Yeah. Because we can certainly use somebody.
Absolutely.
Other than what we have, even though our tight ends are doing what they need to do. I mean, you can easily say that John Smith can be an outside guy, you know.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Not to mention, think of this, right? You're down inside the, let's say 10 to 15. Let's say we're on the 12-yard line. We can still get a first down. It's, you know, 2nd and 9 from the 12-yard line. Okay. You have DK Metcalf on one side. You have John Smith on the right side. And then you have Darnell Washington in the slot. 3 huge guys,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Tell me you're not throwing that in the end zone.
Absolutely.
Tell me that's not your go-to inside the 20 at least twice. At least.
Yeah. And then you can even put double tight end and put Muth on the other side too. I mean,
at
who
least
you throwing to?
That's my
Right.
point. You throw
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you throw it to the big tree stand and Darnell? Or
Well, you know, he if he would turn his head quicker, he would have had a touchdown on Sunday.
right.
That ball hit him right in the chest.
Yeah, he wasn't used to that quick release. He wasn't used to that at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
And that's something else that I heard too. I thought that Steelers opponents are getting the ball out faster than any teams in the NFL,
Yes.
which is killing our defense. Now, granted,
yes.
let's jump into, since we're talking about it, let's just jump right into it, right? So the Pittsburgh Steelers played essentially a perfect game on Sunday against a team that I didn't give them a shot for. I didn't think that they were going to even sniff their jocks, let alone come out with the win. Mike, you called it. You said, I just feel it. This is just a game that they win. I didn't believe it.
I didn't predict how they do it though.
No.
I didn't think the defense would totally suffocate that offense, which they did. This is the defense we've been waiting for all year.
Right. So, did we get back to basics? Did we figure out defense again?
I think you just nailed the nail in the head right there. We simplified our defense and said, Jalen Ramsey, you're going to be our starting free safety now. Kyle Duggar, you're our starting strong safety now. Bringing Eccles in as a slot guy, JPJ and Slay on the outside, and just let the guys rush and play ball. I mean, listen, not to mention Wilson had his best game as a Steeler.
Right.
He
had a fumble too, but
right. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about Peyton Wilson. Peyton Wilson.
Yeah.
I mean, the number 1 pick played great. Harmon, he played good. TJ showed up. I mean, after that first drive, they totally shut that team down. I mean, 6 turnovers. Obviously, one was a 5-day force. One was a muff punt. But this is what we expected from this team from day one. And
6 turnovers.
I think, I love simplifying the defense. Made it look like their job. They knew what they were doing. They're never out of position, Yeah. And listen, if you would have told me that we held Jonathan Taylor to 45 yards on 18 carries, I would have said you're nuts. But, the tackling was very good, They used the linebackers. Heck, even Jack Sawyer, the rookie, had made a pick, They kept rotating players.
Yeah, off of Peyton Wilson.
Right. So this is what we've been waiting for.
5 sacks, 6 turnovers. I mean, again, the best imaginable outcome that we could have asked for.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have to say, they didn't shut. I mean, they did well on defense, and still, they got 6 turnovers on them, but they still only won by 7.
Yeah, but it's kind of garbage points to me. I mean, I agree with you. I think the offensive did what they needed to by scoring on short fields. The biggest drive of the game to me was the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter. We put the touchdown in to make it 28 to whatever it was.
27.
7, I think. Yeah.
27 to 20.
27, right? Yep. One time the Steelers they put that in there. There was 27-7 at that point. To put that drive together and kind of put the game away showed me a lot. And then they never went into prevent. You know, they played really solid defense across the board. Kudos to Kyle Duggar only not playing one play on defense. You know, Jalen Ramsey from what we were told, I'm sure you've read about it. He had a players only meeting and Tom let him have a speech in the locker room and I saw Cam, I saw TJ, guys just said that kind of sat with them all night and then that game day.
Kind of.
So
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers even said, he goes, kind of woke me up, kind of
right,
lit a fire that
right,
I didn't know that I needed to be lit. So, yeah, I mean, they looked good. They looked like a team that should be what they should be doing. They look like they should be the best defense in the NFL. That's what they look
right.
like on this week. What are we going to see?
Yeah, I
That's what they looked
mean,
like last week. What are we going to see this week? That's my thing.
I don't know.
Can we,
That's my whole thing.
yeah, can we string it along? Can we make it more
Right,
than a one-time thing? Right?
right. Because if you don't, it's useless.
Right.
You
Because
know.
again, I look at some of these teams that we lost to, and then I'm looking at them this week, and they lost to bums.
Right,
You
right.
made Jordan Love and the Packers look like all stars, and then they lose again.
At home to Carolina.
Right.
Yeah, at home to Carolina.
To Carolina.
Yeah, right, right.
You know.
You lose to the Bengals. What do you do? Turn around, and lose to the Jets and Bears.
Yeah.
Like
I just come on.
yeah,
That's why I said before. I said these teams are making the Steelers look stupid, right?
mm-hmm.
Because they're losing to these people, and they're losing, you know, big games, and they're losing badly. And then the next week, the following week, I'm not saying that Carolina is a bunch of schlubs, but Carolina on paper is nowhere near what the Steelers are,
No, no.
and they're getting beat.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, obviously, it goes to show you, in my opinion, that we are running the same bum ass defense that we do every year in and year out, and people get it and understand it and can beat it. And then
Yep.
this week, they dumb it down. They keep it simple. They basically set this defense up to see ball, get ball, right? And they come out and they have their best best defensive performance in probably the last 5 years.
Yep. Yep.
Minus the fact that Indiana Jones still threw for over 325 yards or
Right.
340 yards, but
Right.
they got 3 interceptions off of him. He just had a bad day. I mean, he really
Yeah.
did.
Right.
He
Right.
really did. He had a bad day. And I'm not taking
Yeah.
anything away from the Steelers defense.
No, not at all. The thing what they were able to do against him was get pressure.
Yeah.
He was the least pressured quarterback coming into the game, and boy, he was getting hit every play. It seemed,
Right.
And
not to mention too, like you said, we stuffed Jonathan Taylor, but on top of that too, Daniel Jones typically runs for over 25 yards himself.
Right.
50
right.
yards, 25 yards, 50 yards himself. He only had 3 carries for 4 yards.
Right. We kept we limited that big play. We limited that big play. We made big plays. It was just a team effort. I think the offense left some plays out there, but overall, I just thought it was a solid win, something we could build upon. We have a tough game this Sunday going into a beat up Charger team with a very beat up Charger team. Those 2 tackles are out. So,
Not to mention, the Chargers struggle winning games when Joe Alt is not in the lineup.
Right. Right.
He is now out for the year.
Yeah.
With season-ending ankle surgery for his high ankle sprain.
So him and Slater both out. Both starting tackles are out for the year for that team. So
So here's get this. I'm still looking at the Steeler game. Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman Jr. Alec Pierce 13 targets. Pittman Jr. 12 targets. Pierce 6 catches. Pittman 9 catches. Both of them for 115 yards. Got to tighten that up. Can't let that happen.
Oh, big time. The only thing I'll defend on that, which I'm not sure it's defending them. I just thought that Pittman got his in garbage time. Pierce kind of ate us up that first drive. He had 60 plus yards on that first drive. But I'm with you at 110%. You got to tighten that up, especially if you're right. We forced 6 turns, only won by 7.
Right.
I thought it was a bigger. The game didn't feel that close ever. But you can't. You play a team like Buffalo, you play a team like Kansas City, you play a team like Baltimore. You force 6 turnovers, you better win by 20. You better be up by 24, 28, or they're coming back and beating you.
I was going to say you need to, because if not, they're going to come back from behind and beat you. I mean, this team, there was 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they only needed, 17 points at that point, because it was 27 or it was 24-10 at with 10:45 left in the fourth quarter.
Right.
24-10, and this game ended 27-20.
Right.
So it goes to show you that team can do it.
Right.
You can't just.
Well, there's been 7.
I've said this before.
It's 20, in the fourth quarter, down 14.
I said this before. It's 27-20. We can not. I love Boswell to death. We're going to pay him a lot of money at the end of this year, but stop relying on him to win you games.
Yes.
Okay.
We need touchdowns.
Got to put the damn ball in the end zone, not through the uprights.
Yeah.
We need to trade in our field goals for touchdowns.
Yep. Absolutely. 110%.
And the only other problem I have with this past week is the fact that, DK Metcalf had 2 catches and he only had 4 targets. Got to give the guy got to let him eat.
Yep.
You're going to pay him $30 million a year. Can't be having Calvin Austin III being your leading receiver and you're paying him $50,000.
Right.
It can't have it happen.
Yeah.
Can't do it. Now I understand that DK is opening up the game for everybody else, but find ways to get him open. Find ways. You want to know why I say that? Because there was these 2 guys. I don't know if you remember them. They played in. Oh, where did they play? They played together. I think it was in Foxborough. Some old guy named Tom and another guy that was named Randy. And I don't know, for whatever reason, they were the 2 best players that ever walked the face of the earth and played football. And I think they hold the record now for most touchdowns, wide receiver touchdowns, and most quarterback touchdowns thrown in a season. Tell me why you can't duplicate that. Tell me why. Tell me why you can't do half of that. Tell me why.
Well, you don't target them. Like you said, they're not being targeted.
You got to see the guy. You're trying to tell me that DK Metcalf isn't a Randy Moss light type of player. He has the potential to do it. He has the length. He has the speed.
Yeah.
He just is. I mean, I love the guy.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just biased on it because I love the guy and I think he's a great, phenomenal player and he's a superior athlete. But that's just that can't happen. You can't do that.
Right.
So those are if we're gonna sit here and we're gonna nitpick and we're gonna critique the fine cracks within the concrete.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah, I don't have much to say bad wise. My only drawback of the game was like you said, too close for comfort there a little bit, right. and there was so much of a running game too.
Right.
It just seemed like we couldn't get it going whatsoever, and I attribute that to the Colts defense is better than people think it is.
Of course.
So
I'm not taking anything away from them either. I mean,
they're 7-2 for a reason.
Exactly.
So
exactly. All right, let's get into a quick recap. We've already killed the Steeler game, so we'll just talk real quick on the other games that were around the league and a couple of our thoughts on it, and we'll move along. Chicago and Cincinnati. Wow.
Wow.
47-42 in the last minute. Um, again, we talked about this defense with Cincinnati. It needs to be able to take these games and close them out, and obviously they're not, and they give away one of their best linebackers just today. And the Bears, there's no quitting them. There's no quitting them. So kind of scary
The
for the
rookie
Bears.
running back had a big game too for Chicago.
Yeah,
You
kind
know,
of scary. We were all we
and
were all on the Bears. We were all on the Bears, so we got that barely, but we got it.
um, and the Bears put up 47 with one target thrown to Roma Dunze, 0 catches.
Yeah, that's
Pretty
odd.
impressive.
That's odd.
Yeah, well, I guess his heel injury is worse than people think, but very odd to put up that many points.
Right.
So,
Um, JJ McCarthy, welcome back. 27-24 over Detroit.
wow.
You called that one. Well, it's not much to call. They were getting 9.5 points, and they
Right.
they beat them by 3. So, yeah. Um, again, we talk about this. I think he's good enough. You are on the fence about it. I think JJ's good. I do.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this book's still out there for me. I'm not sold on the kid, but he looks good at points. Other points, he just makes questionable decisions. But you go against a team like Detroit and you can beat them. And listen, that defense, Brian Flores had those boys playing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, McCarthy looks. If the Vikings get that kind of play from him, they'll be fine. Aaron Jones came back in a big way.
Yeah. Again, we're talking about JJ, and you're saying, well, questionable calls on his part. He's still technically a rookie.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna say no. I think to me the book's still out on the guy.
Right.
But he's when he started, he's played well.
Agreed. One game that we both have scratched our heads on and said, what the hell, is Carolina Panthers and Packers, 16-13.
Wow.
A win in Lambeau and a last-second field goal. Didn't expect it. Also, a very under game in this one. It was already at 44.5, and it was well under that total. And the Panthers were also getting 13.5, which is just about how much they scored in that game, was 13.5. So
Right.
Big win there. Chargers in Tennessee, 27-20. Almost lost this one to Tennessee.
Yeah.
I think, again, that goes to a detriment of Joe Alt and what he is able to do and bring to the table with his team. And now that he's not there, we're really going to start seeing the Chargers kind of fall off here, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, they again. We talked about Vidal going into this game. He did nothing.
Right.
And they had some mental mistakes. They allowed a special teams touchdown and a defensive touchdown. So, I think their season is going to be interesting now with that offensive line injuries, and they're going to have to depend on Herbert and the defense.
Right.
I don't know how the running game is going to be without those guys. So we'll see.
The next game, 2 big injuries on this one. The Falcons and Patriots. Patriots win by 1 over the Falcons, which, again, what are the Falcons? What are they? What are they, a good team? Are they a decent team? Are they a bad team? What are they? They go into Foxborough. They play a good Patriots team, and they lose by 1. But they go and they play Carolina, and they get blown out 28-0 or whatever the hell it was.
Right, 30-0. They lost to Carolina. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how good New England is. They win games though. I don't know if Atlanta's good at all. I think they're a 500 team type of team. But man, they just don't. They find ways to lose. Is what I'm going to say about Atlanta.
Apparently.
And Drake London had a phenomenal game.
Yeah. And
for them.
The Patriots lose Butte for a couple weeks.
Hammy. Yeah.
He's got a hammy. And before that game even started, they were already down Stevenson. He did.
Right.
So, the next game, 49ers, Giants, 34-24. I don't think this was much of a surprise, to be honest. Um, Maybe in the sense of how much points were scored, but not the outcome of this game. Um, Kind of figured the
Yes.
Dummies were going to take a little bit of a step back here with not having Cam in there. Kind of like the heartbeat of that team almost, but they're still putting up points, so uh, they're going to figure
Yeah.
it out again. They just need to find the right combination again.
Only thing that worries me about them is I love watching Dart play, but man, he gets hit a lot.
Mm.
Damn. They run a lot of runs for him. At least 5 or 6 that I saw that you know, and I don't know, man. If I'm them, you lost Malik Neighbors, you lose Scadaboo. Take it easy on your rookie quarterback. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
let's not ruin him for the future.
exactly.
The next game is the Colts and Steelers. We talked about Houston and Denver. 18-15 in Houston. Bad injury for the Texans and C.J. Stroud. Bad concussion. Bad concussion on him. He's probably going
Yeah,
to be out. My guess is probably 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks for sure.
that was a rough hit he took.
Yeah,
Going down.
he took a double hit. He took a hit and then he took a hit off the
It,
concrete.
as good as that defense played, they should have won the game. But you kick field goals, you're not winning football games. So
No, no,
you know,
no, neither one of them. Jacksonville and the Raiders, who just ended up making trades with each other this on today. Jacksonville, 1 point, 30-29 over the Raiders. The Raiders went for 2 in overtime and missed it. Could have tied it and taken this team to both of these teams getting a tie, but Raiders decided to go for it. Missed it. They lose. To me, as a fan, I prefer that than a tie.
110%. Yep,
I
I'm
respect
with you.
I respect a team that goes for it and misses and shit, we lost. I respect that more than hey, let's just kick it and we'll all go get ice cream afterwards.
Yeah,
Right?
totally agree.
That's the
Yeah,
definition.
totally
That
agree.
that to me is the definition of participation trophies, and I don't like it.
Right. No, I don't like that either.
Not a surprise with this one. Saints and Rams, 34-10. Um, did I see that Puka came out of this game again with an injury?
He did. He did. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
So definitely, again, something to monitor as we go this week. And as a matter of fact,
I want to say it was a shoulder.
yeah. I thought they were on a bye this week, but they're not. They actually have the Niners this week, so big game from them, divisional game from them this week. But yeah, again, not surprised by this. Here's the surprising part: Devontae Adams, Mister doesn't get old, 3 touchdowns in this game,
Yep.
and all of Devontae Adams's touchdowns are within 5 yards.
Wow. Incredible.
Mm-hmm. All of his touchdowns are within 5 yards. It's like 5, 3, 2, 1, 1, 4, something like that of that nature. Every single time they get down there within the 10, it's almost a guarantee that Devontae gets the ball.
That's insane.
But he catches
Completely insane.
But he catches them.
He does.
One of the more anticipated games that we were looking forward to is the Chiefs and Bills. Bills come out of this one again, 28-21. I took the Bills on this, so did you. In the regular season, the Bills are unmatched with the Chiefs. In the regular season.
Right.
A lot of people would say, well, that doesn't matter. It's the regular season. Wait till they get to the playoffs because the Chiefs obviously have the better record in the playoffs.
Right.
So whatever Buffalo does here in the regular season, they need to translate that to the playoffs whenever that time comes. Because
you're certainly right, man. I tell you what.
And this game wasn't close.
No, I'm just gonna say that. Not at all. They physically put a beating on Mahomes.
Yeah.
Buffalo.
Yep. Yep. Wasn't as close as the score indicates, just like it kind of was for the Steelers. That again, that score doesn't indicate um, that it was close, but it really wasn't. And same thing with the Bills and Chiefs. Um, One score that didn't indicate that it was close, and if you watched it, certainly showed that it wasn't close, but a bad, horrible injury in this game. Seattle and Washington. Seattle
Oh,
Seattle steamrolled Washington 38-14. But the biggest thing that come out of this game is Jaden Daniels ends up dislocating his elbow, and it was atrocious to watch. Um, the
what are you
replay
doing in the game? What are you still doing in the game?
now I understand, I understand that. But how many times when you're down by this many points do you say to yourself, "Take him out of there. We don't need him in there no more"? How many times? Never. It never
No, but
nobody ever bitches about a guy getting hurt with 2 minutes left in the game and they're down by 20 until it happens.
right.
Otherwise, they'd have
But
been like, you tried to come back, you didn't do it. Oh well.
right.
That's what they say. But the fact that he's in there and he gets hurt, everybody's all up in arms. What was he doing in there? Blah blah blah.
Injury.
Come on.
Ugly, ugly.
Come on. You want to know why you leave your quarterback in there for those types of games? Because look what happened with Chicago and Cincinnati. That's the reason why. Because
Well,
you
you
never know.
scoring 24 points in the last 6 minutes. That's the problem. When that injury happened, it was I don't know.
That was
And
going to happen.
my issue with that with him is because he's coming off an injury, not the injured the same body part, obviously,
No.
but it was just ugly. This team's struggling to begin with. Like at that point in the game, you're basically mailing it in. I'm with you. I mean, listen, I think you play until the game is over, but just unfortunate for him. His season's lost. We'll see how much longer because it was bad, like you said, very bad injury.
It was bad. It was bad. It looks bad. I don't know if he broke
Yeah,
anything. I don't think I heard official word on exactly
no, I haven't heard anything yet.
what's going on. I mean, it was very obvious. It's dislocated. It wasn't broken because you can see the way that it was. It was out of
Right,
normal. But again, I'm looking at this game and I'm doing the math, and it's 24-point differential, right? 24 points. Denver and Dallas played, and that game ended 44-22. 22 points.
right.
What's the difference between this game and Dak playing in that game towards the end? There isn't. The only difference is that Jaden got hurt in this game and Dak didn't.
Right.
But nobody seems to bitch about that one. We're like, why was Dak still in there? You guys were losing by over 20. Why was he still in there? You know what I mean? That's the thing that
Probably.
just
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's the part that just pisses me. It's like they're trying to win. That's why the game isn't over
yeah.
until it says triple zeros in the fourth quarter.
Right. And God knows this year we've seen comebacks galore.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
So I don't look at this game and I think to myself, oh boy, they did themselves a disservice by leaving him in the game. I look at this game and I think to myself, that could have happened. It could have been
Oh,
30 it could have been 38-14 Washington. And
right,
this still could have happened.
right.
It could have been
Listen.
yeah, it could have been
This, this
it could have been
me,
13-58 in the first quarter after the first kickoff
right?
if this could have
Yeah.
happened. 0-0.
To me, what people are missing is how good Seattle looked and Sam Darnold. Damn.
Yeah, I might have to let up my hate a little bit for Sam Darnold, so I'm at 98%. 98.
Damn.
98.
He looks good. Let's say Seattle's a good football team.
A lot of people
They're
are
tough.
talking about the Seattle Seahawks in the NFC. Well, they need to start.
Right.
They need
Yeah.
to start. And then the last one here that we just so happen to be talking about Dallas. They lose a Monday night game. They lose last night to Arizona and a backup quarterback. Let's think
Who
about
should
that.
be their starter now?
Well, guess what? I have news on that too. So Arizona ends up beating Dallas in Jerry World, 27-17, and it is looking like Jacoby Brissett is going to be the starter for the next 4 to 8 weeks.
Awesome. Good for him.
And
Well deserved.
like you said, needs to be. I think
Yes.
again, from me on the outsider looking in, I think Kyler Murray is done in Arizona, and I think they need it to be done in Arizona because
Yeah.
this team is not going to do anything. Did you see what Marvin Harrison Sr. said?
Yes, I did. Yes.
He can't even watch his own kid because it's repulsive to watch that team.
Yeah. He said, "What are they doing? What are they doing?"
And look what happened last night, right? They played a hell of a game, and
Yep.
Marvin Harrison Jr. had his best game as a player in his career.
Right.
7 catches for 98, and was it 2 touchdowns? I think it was 2.
That's yeah. Yep.
So you got Trey McBride, who's an animal, but you need to start feeding your big guy, the guy that you drafted number one. Um,
Yeah.
those are the things that you're going to get the fans off your ass for, is winning games and feeding the guys that you drafted high.
Right.
So I'll go over all the against the spreads and over unders with Matt. But we didn't do good. Nobody did good.
No, it wasn't a good week. No.
No, I mean I'll run them with you real quick. Against the spreads, Matt 5-9, you 8-6, me 6-8. Over unders, Matt 5-9, you 6-8, me 7-7. Not great. Nobody did well.
No.
Nobody did well.
No.
We were all over the board. So yeah, we're all on a struggle bus. So then let's jump right into what we got going on this week, and that happens to be a Thursday night game with the Las Vegas Raiders going into the Denver Broncos in Mile High Stadium on a Thursday night, and the spread is a rather large one, and it's just changed again. So it started out at -9.5. Now it is down
Wow.
to -8.5. And the over under moved from 41.5 to 42.5. So it is 8.5 to the Raiders. And the over under is set at 42.5. So the Raiders are getting 8.5, over under set at 42.5. Mike, what say you?
Man, that's a lot. That's a lot of points.
It is.
But the Raiders are a really bad football team.
They are.
Denver has a really good defense. I'm taking Denver in this one.
Okay.
I'll take the Broncos. 42.5. You never know about these Broncos. Um, their offense is. The 1 week they're on, next week they're completely garbage. I'm going to go the over though because I think the Raiders' defense is really bad also. So I think Denver's going to be able to score on this team, and I think, give me the over in this one. Give me Denver in the over.
Okay. I'm going to go with the recency bias, like we talked about last week in our top five. So I'm going to go with the recency bias, and I'm going to say that the Raiders and Brock Bowers, okay, if they were able to link up for 3 touchdowns and almost 30 points, 29 of them to be exact, the over, in my opinion, should hit, especially with the way that Denver plays, even though they had an all field goal type of day. Um, what's that? 29-18. What's that?
47.
47, right? So there you go, right there. So um, that's the over, and from what I'm seeing, I think this is an over game because I think that the Raiders may have figured something out, but I also think that because this is a divisional game, they know each other well enough to they know the tricks and secrets in order to get around the defense, right? Um, the Vegas Raiders need this win. The Broncos don't. Vegas does. Vegas is also getting 8.5 on top of that. I'm kind of hard pressed not to take that 8.5 right now, especially with the recency bias that I have. So I'm going to take the Raiders. I'm also going to take the over in this game.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to transition from pros to college, unless you have anything else you'd like to talk about right
Um, I suck at super dogs. That's all.
now. Okay. Well, that doesn't transition us from, well, I mean, it does, but it doesn't. I asked about the pros. You gave me something about
No, the pros. Fun week of football last week. I think remember we talked about knowing who teams are.
it. Mm-hmm.
We still don't know it, but teams are shaping up though. There's a lot of teams we still have no idea who they really are.
No.
We're heading into week 10, so that's really interesting. I think that's why I think right now it's a wide open NFL right now. As I like to say, any given Sunday, you know. So
Yes, I agree. I agree. Um, it'll also be interesting to. I'm going to transition now. Uh, college is going to be giving us their projected or their first look at the college playoff this year. Typically, what we get is what we get around this time is we get the so-called quote unquote real
top
top
25,
25, the real top 25,
right?
right? So now it is the real or shaping up to be the playoffs. So I'm going to have that information for us on Friday when we talk about it, because we're going to talk about what it would be like as if the playoffs started now and who we would think would go on, who would win matchups, and who would go on. But for the meantime, our super dogs from last week, um, Mike, like you said, you're not doing good, bud. You're not
Nope.
doing good. You took UAB on
Nope.
you over UConn, and your 11 and a half didn't even come close
Didn't
to
even
helping.
scratch the surface. It wasn't even close.
Didn't even come close to helping you.
No.
Matt again finds, don't know how he does it, but he finds a way. SMU beats number 10 Miami straight up, 26-20. He gets 21 and a half points in that attempt, in that successful attempt. I figured it out by sheer luck that I took Fresno State over Boise State, and they demolished them 30-7.
Right.
So I got a whopping 45 and a half points on that one. So
That's a
yay,
big jump right there.
yeah, yay me. Um, so yeah, woohoo. But the picks on that one, I did not do good. I did not do good. You guys halved it. Both of you went 2-2 on picks. I went 0-4. Not good.
Wow.
Yes. Over unders, everybody did bad. Matt
I
was
know.
one.
I read.
Yeah, Matt was 1-3. You were 0-4, and I was 1 of 3, 1 and 3. So
Yeah.
our college standings are not looking good, not looking good at all. So that moves us
No.
into
No.
that moves us into now, which is it just so happened I was curious, so I went all the way back to the first week of college. And obviously, I can't go to week 0 because technically it wasn't the quote unquote start of college football, even though it was. They call it week 0. But college game day didn't start until week 1. I have
Right.
picked every game that was on college game day. Not by and not because I looked for it, just by, hey, I think this is a good matchup. I'm gonna put this in our lineup. All for the last 11 weeks. I've picked the college game
Wow.
day. I've picked the college game day.
Nice.
So I went back and I highlighted them all orange. So when you see them from now on, you'll see them that they'll be orange from now on. Those are the games that are featured on college game day. Those are the ones that they're stationed at. So for the first one here, we have a noon game. The noon game is actually one of the biggest games of that weekend. And that game is number 8 BYU taking on number 9 Texas Tech. And ooh, there's some changes here because I have BYU getting 10.5,
Wow.
and it was at 9.5. And
Woo.
the over under has stayed at 52.5.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge.
Very big. Very big.
That is huge numbers right there.
Agreed.
Wow. 10.5. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damn points. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Man.
Especially to an undefeated BYU team.
I was going to say an undefeated team. Wow. I mean, I know Texas Tech spent the most in NOI, but wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I mean,
And BYU is getting back to running back too. So,
I mean,
man.
I gotta go with the points in this. I gotta take BYU and getting 10.5 in a huge game like this. And I'm taking the under in this game. 52.5. I think this one's gonna be a close one. So I'm on BYU. I'm on the under.
Wow. This is a tough one. I'll tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Texas Tech is 60.9% favored to win.
Wow.
And you can go see this game as low as $420.
Wow. That's just a big number, man. 8-0 versus 8-1. You know what? I'm taking BYU in that 10.5.
Yeah.
I'm taking the over though in this one.
I mean, I don't fault you for that. That I kind of like went and looked at what they did and everything like that, and it kind of made me second guess my under. But neither one of these teams have really played anybody substantial, so that's the reason why
Right.
I think that under is going to hit on this time. All right, moving on to a 3:30 game, and the one I chose for 3:30 was what I thought was one of the best ones. Another good one that is on the table, and that's number 3 Texas A&M against number 19 Missouri. Texas A&M is given 6.5, and the over under is set at 48.5, and this line has not moved.
Okay.
Now, is it Texas
Definitely want
Tech?
to
Is it Texas Tech that spent the most money, or is it Texas A&M?
Texas Tech. Yep, Texas Tech. They were calling themselves baseball. How much money they spent. It was ridiculous.
Gotcha.
So Missouri has a real good defense.
I'm worried about their offense.
Wow.
Game though. I don't know what I don't know what Perbola's status is.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if he is playing. Wow. Interesting. I am going with. I'm going to go with A&M. It's just tough for me. I'm going with A&M and give me the over in this one.
Mike, I'm following you on this one. I like it as well. A&M and the over. 48.5, and in my
That
opinion,
offense,
in a game like this, I think it's kind of low.
yeah, their offense just seems to be humming right now. Um, they're putting themselves in a nice position for the college football playoffs. As a matter of fact, A&M. So you know,
Hmm. So I'm reading a little thing that was published October 25th. Okay, so about a week ago. Bo has no broken bones, but he did have an ankle injury that had to be popped back into place.
but he's not playing. Phew. Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh, that just sounds painful. Damn.
Yeah, it doesn't really say on what his timetable is on returning. Um,
Right.
but when at that time, when the Missouri coach was asked uh, about his status, coach said after the game that Pravola did not suffer a fracture, but is likely to be out a while, in quotations.
Wow.
So my guess is he's probably not playing for this one. I don't have a timetable on his return, but it could be a while. I haven't heard anything different. I'm going to presume that he's out, and if he's certainly out in this game, I'm certainly giving Texas A&M that bigger advantage. So I feel better about this pick for Texas A&M and the over. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, from one game to another, and there's a reason why I picked this game, and I think it's going to be a better matchup than what people think. Number 6 Oregon goes into unranked Iowa at 7:30 at night in Iowa,
Ooh. Ooh.
and this is the reason why I picked it.
That was a tough place to play.
That's
Man.
that's one of the reasons why I picked it. Actually, this is a 3:30 game, not a 7:30 game. That makes a little bit of a difference, but not much in my opinion. So it's a 3:30 game, not a 7:30 game. Um, Iowa is getting 6.5, and the over under is set at 40.5. Another reason why I picked this game is there wasn't really any other decent games to pick from. The only other one that I could possibly pick from that I thought possibly could was maybe a Florida Kentucky, and that's only because of the names.
Right. Right.
Um, or even an Alabama LSU, again, only because of the names.
Names. Yeah.
Because LSU's 5-3, Alabama's 7-1. But my last game that I have on the table here, I think, is a good one. You might be able to.
I'm taking. I'm taking Oregon in the over in this one.
Okay. And their one loss, Oregon looked like they were out of sorts. I mean, they looked like they
Right.
were lost. Um, hmm. I'm going to take the under. I'm going to take Iowa for a shock.
Okay.
If anything, this game ends in a 3-point win for one of the teams. But either way, that makes me win this game if I take Iowa. So I'm going to take Iowa. And then the last game is a 7:30 game. Can you guess it, Mike?
Let me see. 7:30 game.
Be able to figure out just
Navy Notre Dame.
Navy Notre Dame. Navy 7-1, coming off a bad beat from North Texas, and they're going to play unranked. Or I'm sorry, number 10 Notre Dame. You almost wonder why I picked this game because Navy is getting 26.5.
Wow.
And the over under is set at 57.5. I'm going to go on a limb. I say Navy wins this game.
Wow. That's ballsy.
I think Navy wins. And the reason why I say that is because Marcus Freeman is James Franklin light. The big games underneath the lights when it matters the most, he chokes for whatever reason. Yeah. I think Navy wins this game outright. I'm obviously on Navy. I mean, it's 26.5 points. How can we not take Navy? All of us.
I'm taking Navy.
How can not all of us take Navy on this one, right?
Right.
26.5.
Yeah.
I didn't pick it because it was 26.5. I picked it because I thought Navy could and very well should win this game.
I just don't understand. I think Notre Dame's almost 4 touchdowns better than that team. I don't see it. I'm sorry.
Right.
That's crazy.
And again, I think Navy's going to win this game. I do.
I think it's going to be a very competitive football game. I do.
And you can go see it for as low as $98.
Hop, skip, and a jump to South Bend.
That's it. Only 7.5 hours, bud. All right. So I don't think it's a question. Me and you are both on Navy. The bigger question is, do we think it's going to be over or under 57.5?
Oof. Well, I think it's the first one to 30 wins this game. But that doesn't leave much leeway for 57.5 points.
Well,
so that being said, I'm taking the under.
I was going to say, you say 30 points. You figure 30 to 27, 30 to 28.
Yeah, 30-28. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm taking the under.
I'll take the over. I'll split it with you.
Okay.
And then that leads us into our super dogs, which this could be a very good candidate for somebody. I did not take this team.
I kind of want to take Navy, but I haven't looked at the games yet.
I know.
26 and a half.
I know. I did pick a game, and I may change it. Because there's actually a couple other games on here that I was looking at. I was like, maybe.
Let's see.
All right, so let's start at the top. We obviously have 2 games going on right now where nobody's picking those.
Right.
Tomorrow's game is Northern Illinois and Toledo, and Northern Illinois is getting 14.5.
I mean, honestly, 2 of our super dogs could be games we're picking.
Yes, very much so.
Is the Alito Bearcats?
The
Alito Bearcats?
I mean,
no, that's Toledo Bearcats. UTSA in South Florida. UTSA is getting 13.5. That's on Friday or Thursday. Friday, Northwestern is getting 14.5 from USC. And then Saturday slate. Penn State's getting 15.5 against Indiana. I think they're going to get murdered.
They played good for a half against
Well, that's
Ohio
typically,
State.
but that's typically what happens.
Yeah, yeah.
SMU is giving 11.5 to Boston College. I don't think that's going to help. Boston College is going to need 28. They think they're going to play. Again, like you said, this game, BYU and Texas Tech, 10.5. JMU and Marshall, 13.5. I don't like that game. Ohio State, Purdue, 29.5. I don't like that game.
No.
ECU and Charlotte, 28.5. I don't like that game. Here's the one that I like right now. It's Syracuse and Miami.
28.5.
28.5. I am liking Syracuse. And Miami is ranked 18, by the way.
Yeah. Well, Carson Beck, for all the rawness about him, he's thrown 14 touchdowns and 9 picks.
Right.
So.
Mm-hmm.
We made 6-1, 5-1.
Yep. So right now I'm on that game, that Syracuse game. But
okay.
There was another game I liked. I'll see if I can find it. Washington and Wisconsin. Wisconsin is getting 11.5.
I'm gonna go Wisconsin because that's where TJ.
Here's another game that I like. California and Louisville. And Louisville is giving 20.5.
Wow.
And Louisville surprisingly is unranked. And they're 7-1. And
wow.
4-1 in the ACC. So I currently like that one too. Alabama, LSU, 10.5. But I
kind
think
of like LSU, especially without Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, but I don't trust LSU. So
I don't either.
No.
I don't trust LSU to get that. And then obviously the game that we're talking about here, Navy,
right,
getting 26.5. Sam Houston getting 20.5 against Oregon State. And that's your pick for Superdog.
Wow. Oof.
Unless you can find a D2 on here that's got a line. There's a lot of times that there's
they've been giving them lines too, as a matter of fact.
I was going to say, there's no lines on any Ivy games. I'd take an Ivy game. There's no lines on them. What's in the FCS? No lines on the FCS.
Nope, they don't have. See, CBS Sportsline has them sometimes.
Yeah. I didn't realize that UConn was an independent.
Yeah. When Jim Mora went there, they switched to independent. Yeah, they have spreads on Ivy League games on CBS Sportsline.
Oh, do they?
Columbia's getting 28.5 against Harvard. Lehigh's getting 23. Holy Cross is getting 23.5 against Lehigh. Not all games have spreads though.
Yeah.
Just some of them.
Only some of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think again, I think Navy's going to win this game. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I think Navy's going to win this game. I'm going to take Navy. I'm going to take them as my super dog.
Wow. Wow. Okay. The Navy plus 26.5.
Yeah. And it's actually, I'm actually giving away points considering the fact that I took a team that was getting 28.5.
Right. Wow.
I mean, again, I'm sitting here and I'm talking about it. I'm saying that I think Navy is going to beat Notre Dame outright. I got to put my money where my mouth is.
I'm not going to make a pick yet.
Okay.
I'm leaning towards going to one of these obscure games from division, the FCS division. I see a rivalry game I really like.
Which one in the FCS?
Yeah. 9-0 North Dakota against 6-3 North Dakota State.
Ooh,
Um,
that is a D2 championship game right there.
Yeah. That's crazy. North Dakota is 6-3. North Dakota State's 9-0. Yeah, right now, if I were to pick a game, I'd probably take North Dakota State getting 13.5 against North Dakota State. That would probably be my super dog.
So North Dakota getting points from South Dakota or the other way around?
North Dakota State. North Dakota is getting. Where is it?
So North Dakota.
North Dakota is getting 13.5 against North Dakota State.
North Dakota against North Dakota State.
Yeah.
Good.
Now, North Dakota State's 9-0. North Dakota is 6-3. But North Dakota is getting 13.5.
Okay. Well,
That right now is my super dog pick.
I'll put that in there for now, just in case that line moves to under 10.5.
Right. Sounds good.
So we have you in for 13.5 on the North Dakota.
Okay. All right.
So that's good. All right. Well.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to the projected CFP rankings playoffs picture.
That comes out tonight, right?
I think so.
Tomorrow. I'm not sure.
I think they're deliberating tonight, and it should come out tomorrow. Because typically there's always like some type of big to do.
Oh no, it's out right now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Where's it?
So right now,
Where's it at?
it's 2-8.
Hold on. College football. College football playoff. This is the playoff predictor. Updated on November 2nd. Do you have a bracket?
Yeah, they have the top 10. What is the top 25? Right now.
Oh wait, there it is. Oh, I see it. Okay. Breaking news just came out.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Some were speculating that Virginia was going to be in here, and apparently they're not. I was seeing that
they're number 13.
I was seeing that Virginia Cavaliers were going to be number 11, but they're not, obviously. And they have in here Oregon's number 9. I have it number 6. I wonder if that's going to change. Obviously, that's going to change. That's a hard playoff picture. Notre Dame 10. That's what we had. BYU is 7. Texas A&M 3.
Yep.
Okay. Texas Tech 8. Oh wow. Okay. Oregon at 9. Wow. All right. So obviously, I would go Georgia. Right now I'd go Texas over Ole Miss and BYU over Notre Dame, and Oregon and Texas Tech. Well, that's a toss up.
Yeah.
That's a toss up.
Yeah, Georgia over Memphis. I'd probably take Texas Tech over Oregon. I'd probably take Ole Miss over Texas.
See, I'm taking Texas over Ole Miss only because of the way that Texas has been playing lately,
Yeah.
and they're the
And
hottest
I'd
team.
probably go with probably Notre Dame over BYU. I'm not sure about that though.
I'd go BYU over Notre Dame. So let's play it out. Okay, let's play it out. We both went Georgia, so it's Georgia and Bama. Who are we taking?
Right. I take Bama.
I'm taking Georgia. So
I take Ohio State or Texas Tech.
you take Ohio State over Texas Tech?
I think so. I haven't seen Texas Tech play. I know they're a good football team though.
I would take Ohio State over. I'd probably take Ohio State all the way to the national championship, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. And at this point, just looking at that bracket, I would go Texas and Texas A&M. I'd probably go Texas A&M. BYU.
Yeah, I'd go A&M. I'd go Indiana.
And Indiana. I'd go Indiana. I'd probably say that the national championship's probably going to be a Big Ten rematch.
See, I'd probably lean right now towards the Ohio State A&M championship.
Right now, I would take Ohio State and Indiana. Not just because they're just 1 and 2, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're only taking it because it's 1 and 2."
Right.
No,
they're
definitely some of the better teams that are playing this year. Not to mention, these teams are going to play each other in a Big Ten championship.
Right.
It's inevitable. So one of these teams are going into the CFP with 1 loss.
Right.
If not more, hopefully not, because if they have more, they're probably not going to make it at all.
Right. Absolutely.
But if they both go undefeated into the Big Ten championship, one of them's getting into the playoffs with obviously 1 loss.
Right.
And I could very well see it being a Big Ten rematch. I don't think there should be anybody that's missing from here in this playoff.
Doesn't look like it.
The only one I would say is probably Miami, but they got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, I'm not sold on Notre Dame making this playoff. By the way,
it's almost like they're guaranteed to make it as long as they have a decent record because they're an independent.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not only that,
yeah,
but because they have the notoriety, they have the brand, let's say, right?
Right.
They have
Right.
the eyes, they have the market, they have all that stuff. That's the only reason why I say Notre Dame makes it, as long as they have a record that keeps them in it. Now, if Notre Dame loses this week to BYU or to Navy, it's a wrap. They're done.
Right.
But I mean, Memphis at number 12, that's not going to stay, in my opinion. I think Memphis gets booted.
Well, they're going to take one team from a group of 5, and that's probably Memphis.
That's assuming Memphis wins out.
Yeah. Right.
Now, you need to is Ole Miss. No, Ole Miss is SEC, right?
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't see one. Where's the ACC team?
There isn't one right now because there's 4 or 5 teams all playing for 5 teams could win the ACC right now. Right now, it's insane. The standings right now.
Mhm.
ACC right now standings. Virginia's 5-0. Georgia Tech's 5-1. Pitt's 5-1. Louisville's 4-1. SMU's 4-1. Duke's 4-1. And they all of them play at least 2 of these teams on the next 3 or 4 weeks. So it's ridiculous.
So here's my thing, right? I say that this needs to be 13 teams. Okay. Because I think it's a guarantee that you need a winner from all the Power Fives, right? Big 12,
Right.
the Big 12, Big 10, SEC, ACC, and I guess there's only Power 4 now.
Yeah, that's it. That's a Power 4. Right.
Did I say Big 12? So let's find
Yeah.
out. Did I? So Big 12, Big 10, SEC, ACC.
12 would be the other one.
What's that?
ACC. It would be ACC, Big 10, Big 12, SEC, and then Big Pac-12 could be the other one. But there's no one in there.
I was going to say there's no Pac-12 dissolved.
Yeah, there's no Pac. So it would be a Power 4. Power 4 is what we have.
Okay.
So all conference winners have to be. You would think.
But if that's the case, then my opinion is that 1, 2, 3, and 4, regardless of record, should be your conference championship, conference
Right.
champions, and they all get buys.
Right.
Because I wouldn't mind watching Indiana play an extra game.
Right.
You know, and that's the guarantee that every conference, every big conference, gets a representative, and then after that,
Right.
you go into your, well, this is your record, this is who you've beaten, strength of schedule, this, that, strength of wins, not just strength
Right.
of schedule, but strength of wins, how bad you blew out a great team, how bad you lost to a great team, all that stuff. But I mean, at this right now, you're looking, if you're an ACC team, you're looking at this like, what the fuck are we playing for then?
Yeah. Well, I still think an ACC team still has a shot. Depending on what happens.
I don't doubt that. I'm just saying right now, considering the fact that there's a few teams that I see up here that have 1 or 2 losses, but they're still in the playoff picture. Where an ACC team who has only 1 loss or none isn't even pictured, isn't even considered.
Right. Well, to me, that's where they have this wrong, because Notre Dame in every other sports in the ACC, but not in football.
Right.
And they play half their teams against ACC teams. Mm-hmm. Half their games. So it's like, wait a minute, you should be in the ACC then. This like you said, they're their own brand. Yeah. So, if they win out, now they play Navy this week, they play Pitt next week, and then they play, I think, Oregon State and Stanford or something like that. Right. So,
all against teams that, other than the next 2, Navy and
they should.
Pitt,
right. Yeah.
Who the fuck they play?
They played a bad USC team this year. Their 2 losses against the 2 good teams. Yeah.
Which to me,
they're
if I'm the non-biased person in that room and somebody's like, "Oh, Notre Dame should be in here," I'm like, "Tell me why? Who'd they beat and who'd they lose to?"
Yeah, so they lost their first game against Miami. They lost to Texas A&M. They beat Purdue, Arkansas, Boise State, NC State, USC, and Boston College.
Okay. You can say the USC win is probably their most notable of the year.
Right.
Because all those other teams that you said, I think are all below 500.
Yeah.
I think every team right there is up below 500. Right. I already know Boston Colleges. They're like 1-8.
NC State's 5-4. Purdue's, I think, 3-6.
And Pitt just blew the
Arkansas,
shit out of NC State.
right? Arkansas is 2-7.
So I mean,
Yeah,
collectively, your opponents are below 500.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
to me, Notre Dame doesn't belong in here.
yeah, I agree. That's why I'd love to see your Navy and Pitt both beat them, put them out of their misery.
Oh, I do. I full heartedly think Navy's going to beat them.
I'd love to see it.
I really.
That'd be great.
But
That'd be great.
let's put it this way too: if Navy somehow doesn't, then Pitt Notre Dame is going to be a huge game.
Yeah, especially Pitt's on a bye week, and they get 6 starters back next week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's huge. All 3 starting defensive players. So defensive linemen, I mean.
Yeah, and that game is next week. So
yeah,
Pitt Notre Dame's probably fine. Well, Pitt's finally probably going to make our picks board here.
They actually are in the college football top 25 actually.
Wow, even better.
Yeah, so I just noticed that they're at number 20, 24.
I was going to say they got to be low.
Yeah, they're low.
Which is so weird that it took them this long to get here, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they lost to a shitty West Virginia team, and then they lose the one loss Louisville, but they had them up by 14 with 6 minutes left and lost that game. So, they're a different team with this freshman quarterback in. So, but we'll see.
I got to go back in here. Because their rankings. I'm just fixing those. Texas Tech is still 3. Yeah. Missouri is 22, though. Oregon is 9. Iowa's 20. Ooh.
I know. I saw that.
That makes this pick even bigger.
Yeah.
All right, Iowa, don't fuck it up. Oops. And then, when was the last time Navy was ranked?
Last year they were ranked, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I think they lost 2 games last year.
Yeah, I got the top 25 one, but it doesn't have idle teams showing. I'd have to actually click on Pitt, which is 24. Still though, next weekend that's going to be a big game if Notre Dame ends up winning this game and Pitt and Notre Dame go. Obviously, Pitt's going to end up moving up from 24th to next week because there's a lot of they're idle and a lot of teams are going to end up losing.
Yeah, what's crazy about them, it's crazy to say, I don't think it's going to happen, but their last 3 games are against teams that are all ranked in the college football playoffs. They play Notre Dame, they play Miami, and Georgia Tech.
Yep.
So,
they
interesting.
The hardest teams they play at the end of the year.
Yeah. So
they have no room to waste. They need to win out.
But you know what? If you're a coach, you can show your own destiny. So nothing more you can ask for. You don't have to depend on others. So that's like right now. If the season ended today, they would be playing Virginia in the ACC title game. So, which is weird. Yeah.
How is that possible? Why? Because they beat Louisville.
Because they're third, and it goes to what's that called? Natural opponents, and they would have the second best record against the other teams with natural opponents. So,
well, they lost to Louisville.
Yeah, but it goes to some point system. How it goes.
So it's like they really screwed up when it came to trying to figure out how to I think the whole FBS system is completely
it's garbage.
it's screwed this thing completely up.
The FCS has it right, man. The FCS has it right.
Yeah.
You take your top 16 teams and you play a playoff. That's it. Keep going.
That's it.
You know, I mean,
yeah. If you're upset that you're ranked 9th and you should be ranked 2nd, go show it on the football field.
Exactly.
That just means you're going to get favorable matchups until you get to the championship, right?
Exactly. Yep.
If you're ranked 9th, you're probably going to end up playing either the 8th team, depending on how many are in there, or like the 6th team or something like that.
Yep. Yeah. So.
All right then. Well, if that's all you got, all I
That's
got.
all I got.
All right. And we'll send over our Thursday pick to Matt to get what he thinks on the matter. Yeah. So, with that being said, do you have anything else to add or anything like that?
No, sir.
All right. Well, with that being said, thanks everybody for hanging out with us. If you're here, we appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and check those notifications to see when we go live. We will be back Friday for our normally scheduled show with the 3 of us. This has been our Tuesday show. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, so we'll see you on Friday. Maybe a little bit early.
Possibly, depending. I don't know if I'm going to South Lake East game. We'll see.
Okay,
we'll see.
You'll let us know. It's a hard 9 p.m. start, but there could be a chance that we can go in a little bit earlier. So we'll see if that happens. So with that being said, good night, everybody.
See you later.